Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Vasudeva Katha Prashna Purusham Strin Punatihi Vaktaram Shrotra Vaktaram Pritchakam Shrotram Tatpada Salilam Yatha Nivrita Tarshe Upagiyamana Bhavo Shadat Shotra Mano Birama Kauttama Shloka Gunanu Vadat Puman Virajyed Vina Pashughnat Neshati Dhu Saha Shunmam Tyaktodam Api Baddhate Pibantam Tvam Mukhamboja Chutam Hari Kathamritam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitaram pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much again for taking out your valuable time to read, hear, discuss Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. Shukdev Goswami was drinking this nectar, was speaking this nectar, and Parikshit Maharaj was drinking this nectar. And by drinking this nectar, all the bodily needs were fulfilled. Not just the bodily needs, the real needs of the soul, that is to hear Krishna Katha was fulfilled. He was not feeling thirsty or hungry or sleepy. So that's the context. And he's eager to hear about Krishna Katha from the lotus mouth of Shukdev Goswami. And we have been discussing this context where Vasudev's first attempt to save Devaki did not work when he gave the science of body and soul with very kind words. Now he's thinking of a second attempt, and we discussed that in great detail. First, he considered in his mind, what should I do? Imminent danger to Devaki's life. What should I do? So he considered, he thought, he introspected, and then after deep consideration here, contemplation, he, with great respect, Bahumana. That's the last point where we were yesterday. Just want to give a quick background before we move on to the next verse, which is text number 53. Prasannavadan bhojo nishamsam nirapatrapam manasaduyamanena vihasan idam abravit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Vasudev's mind was full of anxiety because his wife was facing danger. But in order to please the cruel, shameless, and sinful Kamsa, he externally smiled and spoke to him as follows. Purport: sometimes one must act duplicitously in a dangerous position, as Vasudev did to save his wife. The material world is complicated, and to execute one's duties one cannot avoid adopting such diplomacy. Vasudeva did everything possible to save his wife for the sake of begetting Krishna. This indicates that one may act duplicitously for the purpose of saving Krishna and his interests. Vasudeva and Devaki, according to the arrangement already foretold, Krishna was to appear through Vasudeva and Devaki to kill Kamsa. Vasudeva therefore had to do everything to save the situation. Although all the events were pre-arranged by Krishna, a devotee must try his best to serve the purpose of Krishna. Krishna himself is all-powerful, but it is not that a devotee should therefore sit idly and leave everything to him. This instruction is also found in the Bhagavad Gita. Although Krishna was doing everything for Arjuna, Arjuna never sat down idly as non-violent gentleman. Rather, he tried his best to fight the battle and be victorious. Hare Krishna. So, a lot of wonderful lessons here. So, one point is about, many times people ask that sometimes how to deal with people who are crooked, people who are like Kamsa. So it is very clearly mentioned that for people who are like Kamsa, who are non-devotees, right? In the material world, to execute, material world is very complicated. So to execute one's duties, one cannot avoid such diplomacy. Like even in the business, like for example, one says, "Oh, I'm not making any profit from you." A cloth merchant will say, "No, you are my favorite customer. I'm not making any profit from you. But whatever I bought it for, I'm just giving you for that price because you are very special to me." So that is diplomacy. That is duplicitous. Everyone knows that he is not selling for the same price, right? If he's selling for the same price, how will we pay the rent, the bills, and whatnot? He's not just doing some charitable thing. So that is fine. But with devotees, we should not be duplicitous. To protect the interests of Krishna, it is fine. But with devotees, we should be very, very simple and straightforward. With the outside world, sometimes it may be required for a higher cause. The higher cause here is to protect Devaki, to fulfill the order of the Lord. And what was the order of the Lord? Krishna was to appear from Vasudeva and Devaki to kill Kamsa. Now someone will say, well, if it is the order of the Lord, then the Lord will arrange it. Why I need to worry about it? That is not the mood of the Lord. The mood of the Lord is Lord Chaitanya. He could distribute the love of God to everyone. Krishna could kill all the demons. Krishna could kill everyone in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But he wants to give the credit to his devotees. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya could certainly come to the Western world and share the holy name with everyone. But he wants to give the credit to Prabhupada and his family for doing so. So we must do our best. We must not. Arjuna never sat down idly. So we must not sit down idly. Rather, we should think that how I can be an instrument in the service of the Lord. Karishyasi vachanam tava. Karishya vachanam tava. That how I can do my best. Not think that whatever Lord wants, it will anyways happen only. Yes, that will happen. But am I doing my best? That's up to me. So a devotee must try one's best, as Prabhupada is so nicely writing. A devotee must try his best to serve the purpose of Krishna. Very, very clear, right from the purport. And not think that, yes, it is arranged by the Lord. Oh, it's a Janmashtami event. Whoever has to come will anyways come. Whoever has to get books will anyways get it. What do I need to worry about? No. Am I trying my best to serve the purpose of Krishna? What is the purpose of Krishna? To be one, to be Krishna conscious and to share Krishna consciousness. This is the real purpose of the Supreme Lord. Any other comments, any thoughts, additions? Okay, so we'll see what this great personality Vasudeva Maharaj spoke. Yes, Mataji, want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. And Shri Vasudeva Uvacha Na yasyaste sabhayam saumya yada vaisaha sharirvaka putrana samaparyarishe asya yataste bhayamuttitam. Translation and purport by His Divineness S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vasudev said, O best of the sober, you have nothing to fear from your sister Devaki because of what you have heard from the unseen omen. The cause of death will be her sons. Therefore, I promise that when she gives birth to the sons, from whom your fear has arisen, I shall deliver them all unto your hands. Purport. Kamsa feared Devaki's existence because after her 8th pregnancy, she would give birth to a son who would kill him. Vasudeva, therefore, to assure his brother-in-law the utmost safety, promised to bring him all the sons. He would not wait for the 8th son, but from the very beginning would deliver to the hands of Kamsa all the sons to which Devaki would give birth. This was the most liberal proposition offered by Vasudeva to Kamsa. So Vasudeva is understanding that it's really important to save Devaki. And that's why it's like, we have some promotions. So that kind of, he's kind of proposing some liberal proposition by Vasudeva to Kamsa just to ensure that his wife Devaki is being saved. And he is very right. He's trying to bring the argument that if Devaki is not alive, then how can she give birth to the son? So, and this is what I understand. Prabhu, please add. Thank you very much. In the last purport, I wanted to add the comment that there's a saying that do everything as if it completely depends on you, and then when the results come, then look at it as if everything depended completely on Krishna. So you don't get attached to the results, but do as if God doesn't exist, and then don't get attached to the fruits of the result. Everything depends on you, and then back to you, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those wonderful comments. So, a great lesson again from Maharaj Vasudev's qualities. Again and again, we are seeing that greatness of a person is tested in provoking situations. Very, very provoking situation for Maharaj Vasudeva. At one point, his wife is about to be killed. And at the other point, he is not able to save. Now, he is trying his second attempt to see if it will help or not. So, the mind, as we read, Vasudev's mind was full of anxiety, right? We just read in the last word. So anxiety for devotees, anxiety for spiritual causes is very nice. And Kamsa he knew is bad, shameless, sinful. But what is he addressing? Oh, Saumya. Saumya, right? Saumya is very gentle, very sober, the word used in this. Was Kamsa gentle? Was Kamsa sober? Certainly not. So as per the Bhagavad Gita, Satyam Priyam Hitam Chayat, right? Lakshay learned that verse, 17:15, Bhagavad Gita. Not yet. Sampada Mataji, you learned that verse? It's in your homework. You learn. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasnam chayavya vangmaya tapa uchyate. So it should not be agitating to others, the speech. It should be truthful. It should be pleasing. And most importantly, it should be beneficial. So certainly he is compromising on that truthfulness principle by addressing Kamsa as Saumya, O best of the sober one. But his intention, the main intention is, if he says, "Oh fool, oh rascal, oh killer, oh demoniac," will Kamsa even think of not killing? His agitation would alleviate, and then he would be more provoked to kill Devaki. Is it not? So I heard a class that bad, sometimes we may be agitated, we may be confused, we may be disturbed, we may be upset about something, but bad words should not be mixed with bad emotions, because bad emotions will come and go, right? We all go through emotional ups and downs. Sometimes we are angry, sometimes in the heart, sometimes we are fearful, sometimes we are nervous, sometimes we are very joyful. But in that, if we express, let's say I'm angry, in my heart I'm feeling bad, like Vasudeva certainly must be feeling anger towards Kamsa, or in this heart he knows that Kamsa is bad, but right now the sword is in the hand of Kamsa. So somehow or the other he's not using bad words, not mixing bad words. So anytime we get angry, we can always pause it, postpone it, deal with it. But if we speak bad words, then those will never be taken back. Those will never be taken back. So even in the midst of all this turmoil, Vasudeva is addressing Kamsa as, "O Saumya." And what is he promising? I'll give you all the sons, not just the 8th son. I will give you all the sons who are born and who this prophecy said will be the cause of your death. The prophecy did not say that Devaki will be the cause of your death. So please don't, in short, please don't harm Devaki. And Vasudeva was a man of words. So let's see if Kamsa agreed to this proposal or not. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, Manjari.
Sure, Rosie. Thank you, devotees. Namo Pranam. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 55. Sri Shuka Vacho Shashur Badhan Nibarte Kamshastat Bhakto Sharobhit Vasudevo Pitam Prito Parashayo Prabhishad Griham. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada with joy. Translation. Srila Shukdev Goswami continued, Kamsa agreed to the logical arguments of Vasudeva, and having full faith in Vasudev's words, he refrained from killing his sister. Vasudeva, being pleased with Kamsa, pacified him further and entered his own house. Purport. Although Kamsa was a sinful demon, he believed that Vasudeva would never deviate from his word. The character of a pure devotee like Vasudeva is such that even so great a demon as Kamsa firmly believed in his words and was satisfied. Jasya Śrī Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvai Gunastatra Samaste Shura. Bhagavatam 5.18-12. All good attributes are present in a devotee, so much so that even Kamsa believed in Vasudeva's words without a doubt. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we see when devotees worship Lord and surrender to the Lord, they get all the Daivi qualities. And so actually devotees are more than a Brahman, and they have all the good qualities. Even the simple person, the common show, they have full faith on the words of the Vaishnava, because Vaishnava always maintains a high standard. So here it reflects that. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you so much for even Kamsa had faith in Vasudeva Maharaj's words. So why? Because a devotee like Vasudeva never deviate from, so their words have a lot of meaning. Their words have a lot of power. Raghukularit Sudha Chali Aaye Prana Jai Par Vachanan Jai. Right? Dashrath Maharaj gave the word, and his son Lord Sri Ramchandra followed. This is the principle Lord Ram is showing by his words, by his character, and so is Vasudeva Maharaj here. So having full faith in Vasudeva's words. So basically this attempt to work, failure as a stepping stone, right? So much to learn from this short instance till here about Vasudeva's maturity, about Vasudeva's choice of words, about Vasudeva's tolerance, about Vasudeva's retrospection, about Vasudeva's Maharaj's eagerness to serve, about Vasudeva Maharaj's tranquility, and about his intelligence. All these yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchane sarva gunai tatra samasate sura. Sarva guna. All these are wonderful devotional qualities. To be sense control, to be mental control. So much mental pressure, but he's choosing his words very, very carefully. But what happens to a common human being? When the mental balance is distorted, then the words come out are like, are also distorted. Or sometimes very harsh words come out when the mental balance is lost, right? But Vasudeva Maharaj, because of his unalloyed devotion, yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana bhakti. Haro abhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Hari ka abhakta, a non-devotee, or who is not a devotee of Krishna, kuto mahadguna. How can there be any good qualities? Because manorathena sati dhavato bahi, they are situated in the chariot of their own mind, and then running here and there and outside, away from Krishna, dhavato bahi, they are taking shelter of the bahiranga shakti, the material consciousness. But Vasudeva Maharaj is completely in the Shuddha Sattva. This is another meaning of Vasudeva, who is completely on the Shuddha Sattva platform is Vasudeva Maharaj. Whose unalloyed bhakti is Vasudeva Maharaj. And that person has all these wonderful qualities which we have been discussing. The choice of words, the power of words, the timing, the intelligence, the introspection, the knowledge, the everything, this whole instance, just till this point, the conversation of Vasudeva and Kamsa, so many wonderful lessons are there in this pastime for all of us. So Kamsa looks like Kamsa is agreeing to, and Vasudeva was being very pleased with Kamsa, pacified him further, right? He did not just stop there. Maybe it's not mentioned here, but looks like he further pacified. Oh, Kamsa, you are very great. You're such a benevolent. You are so noble. Who could be more kind than you? You are the real well-wisher of everyone, right? You are the Kula. You are the Chirag of Bhoja dynasty. So many. He pacified him further, and then he entered his house. So let's see what happens further. Looks like Kamsa is kind of settling down here. Text 56. Anyone? There's a good chance.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, devotees, Dandat Pranam, all close to Srila Prabhupada, text number 56. Atha kala upavrate Devaki sarvadevata Putran Purushau Chestau Kanyam Chaivanus Vatsaram. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Each year thereafter, in due course of time, Devaki, the mother of gods and all the demigods, gave birth to a child. Thus, she bore 8 sons, one after another, and a daughter named Subhadra. Purport. The spiritual master is sometimes glorified as Sarva Deva Mayo Gruha, Bhagavatam 11:17-27. By the grace of Guru, the spiritual master, one can understand the different kinds of devas. The word deva refers to God, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is the original source of all the demigods, who are also called devas. In Bhagavad Gita 10:2, the Lord says, Aham adirhi deva devanam. I am the source of all devas. The Supreme Lord Vishnu, the original person, expands to different forms. Tad aksita bahusyam. Chando Gaya Upanishad 6.2.3. He alone has expanded into many. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Manantarupam Brahma Samhita 5.33. There are different grades of forms known as Swamsa and Vivinnamsha. The Swamsha are expansions or Vishnu Tattva, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas Vivinnamsha or Jiva Tattva, who are part and parcel of the Lord. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. If we accept Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship Him, all the parts and expansions of the Lord are automatically worshipped. Sarvarhanam Achyutejya. Bhagavatam 4:31-14. Krishna is known as Achyuta. Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratam Stapite Me Achyuta. By worshipping Achyuta, Krishna, one automatically worships all the demigods. There is no need to separate worshipping either the Vishnu Tattva or Jiva Tattva. If one concentrates upon Krishna, one worships everyone. Therefore, because Mother Devaki gave birth to Krishna, she is described as Sarva Devata. Rebirth. Wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. So here you can see that Srila Prabhupada she compared Devaki as mother of all the demigods. So even though Aditi is the mother of demigods, here Devaki is also, because she gave birth to none other than Lord Krishna. Of course, Lord Krishna is unborn, but for the sake of the pleasure of the devotees, he takes birth in Devaki's womb. So that's how he she's also considered as Sarva Devata. And also Prabhupada has given so many quotes from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, where Lord is the cause of all causes, and he is also Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva. Everyone are amshas, Vibhinna amsha. We are all Vibhinna amshas, Jiva Tattvas, but we are also part and parcels of Lord Krishna. And of course, he expands himself for the sake of his devotees. So just by worshipping Lord Krishna, everyone gets worshipped. So as we can see, even in Mahabharata, when Durvasa Muni with his, I think 60,000 disciples or whatever, came, Duryodhana sent to the forest, so that Durvasa Muni, curses, because the Pandavas did not have much. So he sent at a time where already Draupadi Maharani already would have taken, and the Akshay Patra doesn't give anything. So at that time, Krishna comes and just takes one morsel, and everyone gets, fulfilled. They can't eat anything, so they run away. The Bhima comes to call them, but they run away. So like that, and even same Prabhupada also mentions many times. So if you pour water to roots, you don't need to water each and every leaf, each and every stem, so that everything gets nourished. Same way, like if we eat food into our stomach, all our organs will get some of the, get satisfied and get energy. So in the same way, if we worship Lord Krishna, we don't need to worship all the 33 crores of demigods. It's very not it's impractical to even, we cannot even remember the 33 names of the demigods. At least I'm talking for myself. So here, so that is the reason Devaki is also, she gave birth to Lord Krishna. So she is considered as Sarvadevata. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please add.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice. You explain all the important points. So nicely, Prabhupada is explaining that how Mata Devaki is the mother of everyone, mother of all the gods, the demigods. And she bore 8 sons and a daughter named Subhadra. And if we want to see Prabhupada's mood very, very clearly, in multiple purports Prabhupada is explaining here again. By worshipping Achyuta or Krishna, one automatically worship all the demigods. There is no need of separate worshipping either the Vishnu Tattva or the Jiva Tattva, which includes all the demigods as well. If one concentrates upon Krishna, one worships everyone. Yasmin tushte jagat tushte, watering the roots, feeding the food in the belly. So many examples are there. Therefore, because Mother Devaki gave birth to Krishna, she is described as Sarvadevata. So, Sarvadevata. That's the meaning. To whom all the demigods and God Himself appeared. Let's see the next verse. What happens
Krishna,
further?
Prabhuji, so here it says that Devaki gave birth to Subhadra, right, Prabhuji? That's what we see in the translation, right, Prabhuji? Okay. Because the other day I was thinking maybe Rohini, somewhere it was mentioned, maybe that. And also, Prabhuji, one more thing is...
it was told in Alachua class by Chaturatma Prabhu. I'll ask him the reference.
Sorry, Mataji?
A couple of devotees have mentioned in Alachua that this is actually Rohini's gave birth to Subhadra, but I will find out and explain.
Okay, thank you. And one more thing was like, I also heard like Bhadra and Subhadra. So Bhadra means like, Parvati Devi, like, Mahamaya. And I also heard that Subhadra means like internal, like Yogamaya. Is that any relation, Prabhuji? I have heard in, couple of, lectures.
If you have heard from wonderful ISKCON devotees, then certainly, I don't know whatever. So if you heard from bona fide wonderful devotees, then certainly they don't concoct. So they must have read or heard from bona fide sources. So certainly what they are speaking is from Guru Sadhu Shastra. And in different places, sometimes, as we have discussed, that these topics are sometimes, not sometimes, always beyond our understanding. So we should not be bewildered if we sometimes even see differences. But there could be different kalpas also, right? Different kalpas.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just wanted to check if you have heard or any context or anything like that. Yeah, I agree, Prabhuji. One thing is, you cannot understand Krishna. That's what we have to understand. Thank you.
More details will come in the following verses, the chapters. Okay. We'll take one more verse. 57. Ms. Lakshay, Prabhu, want to read? Raise your hand.
Yes, Prabhu. Kirtimantam Pratamajam Kamshaya Nakadundubi Alpayam Asha Krichirena so unrooted Ativala. Vasudeva was very much disturbed by fear of becoming a liar by breaking his promise. Thus, with great pain, he delivered the firstborn son named Kirtiman into the hands of Kamsa. In the Vedic system, as soon as a child is born, especially a male child, the father calls for learned brahmanas, and according to the description of the child's horoscope, the child is immediately merely given a name. This ceremony is called Namakarana. There are 10 different samskaras or reformatory methods adopted in the system of Varnashram Dharma, and the name-giving ceremony is one of them. Although Vasudeva's first son was to be delivered into the hands of Kamsa, the Namakarana ceremony was performed, and thus the child was named Kirtiman. Such names are given immediately after birth. Hare Kṛṣṇa, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. What did you understand from this?
System that when a child is born, that they have to take it to a brahmana and give a name according to the date of birth, kind of. So it's Vasudeva did that to his first son just by himself.
Yes. Why did he give his son to Kamsa?
He gave son to Vasudeva gave son to Kamsa kind of because he gave his promise, and since Vasudeva is a righteous man, if he lies, it would be kind of a bad reputation, kind of. So if he doesn't give the son to Kamsa, then it kind of be he lied.
Very nice. Thank you. Even an evil person like Kamsa had trust in the words of Vasudeva Maharaj. So a devotee and like Vasudeva could not tolerate this, that to be a liar, because Kamsa trusted his word that Vasudeva would bring the child after the child is born. That's one reason. Another reason was that these were to be killed by the hands of Kamsa because of their past curse. So both have to materialize parallelly. And Prabhupada is explaining about the samskara, which is explained here. The first son's name was Kirtiman. And that's the Namakaran sanskar. So there are multiple sanskaras starting from the Garbhadan samskara, Vamsavana sanskara, Simantanayana sanskara, Jatakarma is after the child is born, then Namakaran, naming ceremony, then Nishkramana, the first outing of the child when the first, the Aditya, the sun sees the child. Then the Annaprashana, the first grain ceremony. Then the Chudakarna, then the Karnavedi, piercing of the ear lobes. Then Vidyarambha, learning of the alphabets. Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony. Then the Vedarambha, commencing the study of the Vedas. Then the cutting of the hair. Then the graduation. Then the Vivaha Samskara. And then finally Antya Kriya. It is the final rites or the cremation Samskara. An interesting thing to observe here is out of this, around 80% of the sanskaras are from the day 0, that is the conception, till the 10 years. Isn't that amazing? The other sanskaras, like the Vivaha Sanskar and the Antyeshtikriya, are practically the only ones which happen at a later stage from the child's development perspective. All the samskaras that are happening in the child is young. Some at 0 days, some at in the womb. 4 sanskaras happen when the child is in the womb. Then for the protection of the mother and the child. Then some are when the child is very young, then grain feeding, Vidyarambha, etc., etc. So sanskaras are basically giving those positive spiritual impressions to the child, and done in the association of devotees, in the association of holy names. So this is Vedic culture. This is Vedic culture. So as far as possible, one must try to do these and inspire others also to do this. Prabhupada is mentioning here about the Namakarna Sanskara, and also mentioning there are 10 different Sanskaras. There are more, like the 10 main ones, and then the other ones also are there. We may be familiar with just maybe like the Vivaha Samskara and maybe the final rites, but there are a lot more to it, which is very, very scientific and as per the Vedic injunctions. So as far as possible, one must try one's best and inspire others also to do one's best. Any comments, thoughts, additions? These verses.
So Prabhuji, Hare Kṛṣṇa. So if we forget somehow doing some of these samskaras to the kids, is there anything we can do even afterwards, Prabhuji?
For your child or others, or
in general, for mine and in general, I was asking. Because you said most of the samskaras are before 10 years, right? And we did Annaprasana and a couple of others, but I don't remember if we did all of them. So that's why I was just checking.
Of course, giving the Krishna conscious culture is the thing. All these mediums, all these, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Sarve vidhe nishidasya etayor eva kinkara. All the rules and regulations, all the principles of Varna Ashrama Dharma, as mentioned here, are for that one goal. Save pumsam parodharmo yato bhakti radokshidu ahetukya pratihata. Not this one. The essence, the perfection of dharma is Krishna consciousness. Like, cutting of the first hair. Now, no, that's the cutting of the first hair. It cannot be done at 10 years. It cannot be done at 50 years, right? So, but that's fine. If one did not do, that's fine. That ultimately we cannot undo the past, but whatever we can do in the present for a better Krishna conscious future, we can do.
Yes. Yeah, we did it now. Thank you.
And then we can inspire others. Okay. And then bhakti, even if you inspire others, you'll get the credit. That is transcendental commission.
Thank you.
Nice one, throw. Any other thoughts, comments, or additions anyone has in these few verses? Okay, so Devaki is saved in this context here. From Vasudev's second attempt was good, and now he is taking Kirtiman as per his promise to Kamsa. We will see later, tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, what happens to Kirtiman. Thank you so much. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Puran ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Samavita Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasinubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaः. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vijay. Hare Krishna.